Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy. Milk.
It's been just a goofy ass week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good stuff personally, but it's like multiple celebrities that I fuck with, and I'm sure other people fuck with, have passed away. A singular celebrity that I don't give a fuck about passed away, but we'll talk shit about him too. Well, I will probably. I don't know if Box will. I don't think Box has any kind of poor words to say. Not that he's supporting that that dead racist, but still. But I figured we would just chat about several things and so forth here at the top. And one that kind of just really wrecked my soul was that we lost Malcom Jamal Warner this week, Theo from The Cosby Show, who truly was like a boyhood hero of mine. I really do say it because he was he represented black boys on TV when we didn't have a lot of that on TV at the time, like not really much at all. And he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a knucklehead in some senses. The character was a knucklehead in some senses, but he was trying to do his best and trying to be a good guy and learn from his parents and so forth and so on and try to do better. Still fuck up every now and again because, that's how dudes is. And it just was dope to have a character like that in our living rooms, once a week or every day once everything went to syndication. And I'm so saddened by his passing. You know what I'm saying? He got caught up in a riptide down there by Costa Rica, and him and his daughter. And his daughter was luckily rescued, but unfortunately, when they got to him, it was too late, and so we lost him this week. And then OzzyOsbourn left this week, and Ozzy had been saying he was going to leave after his last concert. He had actually been preparing for this, so I'm relatively certain Ozzy, who had said he was going to take care of business, just took care of business. No one had said anything to the contrary of that. But another dude who, stood for what was also, oddly enough, stood for a lot of good things. I know people were like trying to make Ozzy out to be this satanic whatever, and he bit a head off a bat or a rat or whatever it was, because it's always something different when the story gets told. But lots of stories was coming up after his passing about how he was just trying to fight the good fight for LGBTQ plus rights whenever it came up and so forth. And I just thought, damn, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? No, a lot of us only know Ozzy from the Osbournes on MTV, but you know what I'm saying? If you fuck with Sabbath or just Ozzy's solo career, man, you fucking know, you know what I'm saying? That I know you might be getting down in that direction. So respect due to that. Charles Mangione. I always say it like that, Charles Mangione, because that's how Hank Hill said it. But Chuck Mangione, man, amazing trumpeter musician. Just found out about that like yesterday, I think. And somebody was like, I thought this was a made-up character from King of the Hill. And I'm like, nah, man. Chuck Mangione was a hell of a musician, bro. And it's like, if you are a hip-hop head, you've heard many a sample of his just across the board. And it's like, I was like, damn, man, they done took Charles, man. And somebody else passed away. And it's not who we talking about. But it's like, so then I'm watching, I'm on TikTok today at some point, and it was like, it's not just 3 celebrities. This is the person said on TikTok. It's going to be 3 black celebrities and 3 white celebrities. So I can tick off 3 white celebrities right now, but I can't quite tick off 3 black celebrities, and that's bothersome. So I'm like, who the next ones and why? But that's just crazy that it goes down. That people think it goes down like that. But the last one. Let's read a quote from him. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. So this is this man talking to another person. I'm gonna pull it over on this side of the screen so I'm looking down the barrel. I'm getting ready to cut some serious bait. My daughter Brooke, she jumps on me. And then the person's talking to me. I shelled out $2-3 million for her music, and I've done everything. Fucking with him day and night on the radio like a jackass, and he's worked with me to make work when really should call it a day and do that shit I did. Okay. The son, he's this black billionaire, Cecil. He's basically did more for her in a year than anybody's done. He had one song, and after 10 months, it should go to and see, those little gaps are called. The quotes are inaudible silence. I try to be the realist, and this is your option. You got a better option. Said you can sign with, and they redacted whoever he's going to sign with. He's going to put $500 million behind. Right now, there's nothing else. Hold on, I moved my mouse right quick. So it gets to the point where I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son, so they've been hanging out. I caught them holding hands together on the tour. They were getting close to kind of, the fucking. I'm not a double standard type of guy. I'm a racist to a point, fucking niggers. But then when it comes to nice people and, well, we're all that way. This person tells Hulk Hogan that. Yeah, cool. When it comes to nice people, you can't just say and then of course this is redacted. I don't give a fuck if she an 8-foot tall basketball player. If we're gonna fuck with niggers, get a rich one. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, you piece of shit. Oh, excuse me, Terry Bollea. Hulk Hogan, a hero of mine when I was a child, sweet cartoon, fucking great wrestling shit, died when that shit came out of that motherfucker's mouth to me. So he been dead for a very long time. Now the rest of him has just left this planet. What a terrible fucking human being. Also, if you didn't know, earlier this year, he had this black waitress that he made leave his event because he didn't want black people there. It's not like he got better or turns out, no, man, that's just one time. No, just a racist piece of shit. And that's okay, bro. You're dead now, aren't you? So best of luck to you in hell. I hope they kept it nice and cold, hot, however hell works out for you. And man, that's crazy. So then adding to this week of crazy, the president just slide in. It's like, I want the Redskins back and I want the Indians back. And everybody fuck with me about this. And everybody like, do we, sir? Because I don't think we fuck with you like that. And of course, they run the numbers. And of course, no, we don't fuck with them like that. It's I think there's about 9% of people that get down with that. Now, that's a big change that took some years to get us there. But at this point, these motherfuckers, the Guardians, and we call them the Guardians, they are the Commanders, and we call them Commanders. And it just is okay. But let's read the story. I put up a news story for you. I know we don't do news up here, but I thought it'd be so interesting. As we had to respond to this. We as in the Cleveland Guardians. We're from Cleveland. Cleveland Guardians respond after President Donald Trump calls for team name to be reverted to old moniker. The Guardians changed their branding starting in 2021. The Cleveland Guardians do not sound eager to change their nickname back to the Indians after President Donald Trump called for the franchise to go back to its previous moniker in a social media post over the weekend. Trump also called the NFL's Washington Commanders to go back to the Redskins team name. Saying that feels like me saying nigger to people of Native American descent. That's a terrible ass word. I cannot fuck with it. It's why we held on to that name for as long as we did. The Washington whatever should immediately change their name back to the Washington bad word. I'm just not going to say it no more. Refuse. Football team. There's a big clamoring for this, Trump wrote on Truth Social on Sunday. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past, that past being that they didn't start as the Indians. But we ain't going to fuck with that. Our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systemically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago, basically saying, we can act the fool in this country because I'm running it now. We're a country of passion and common sense. Owners, get it done. Guardians president of baseball operations, Chris Antonetti, said later Sunday that the team is excited about the future and they continue to build their brand as the Guardians. Here's what Antonetti told reporters via the Akron Beacon Journal. Not something I'm tracking or have been paying a lot of attention to, But I would generally say I understand that there were a lot of different perspectives on the decision we made a few years ago, Antonetti said. But obviously, it's a decision we've made, and we've gotten the opportunity to build the brand as the Guardians over the last 4 years, and we're excited for the future. Trump attempted to purchase the Cleveland baseball franchise from former owner Steve O'Neill's estate in 1983. His bid was rejected, and the team was sold to real estate developer Richard Jacobs, who then sold the team to members of the Dolan family in 2000. This is the 4th year of the Guardians team name. The franchise went by Cleveland, just Cleveland, in 1901, the Cleveland Blues in 1902, the Cleveland Napoleons from 1903 to 1905, and the Cleveland Naps from 1906 to 1914 in honor of Hall of Famer Nap LaJoie. They adopted the Indians name in 1915 and remained until 2021. In addition to changing the team name, the Guardians have also phased out their Chief Wahoo logo over the last 4 years. That was Mike Axia from CBS Sports on the byline there. Make sure I'm going to give my man's credit. What the fuck is even happening right now, Dan? What is going on in this nation of ours?
Truth Social, baby.
I don't think I know I've never set foot on that particular site. I don't even know how to get there or what's going on. So I'm sure it's .com or .net or .whatever. But yeah, I don't got a True Social page.
I've never been on there. I've maybe logged into Blue Skies like twice. I forget to go on Twitter all the time. Like to me, Twitter's not a social app anymore. It's just a news app. Because I don't be talking to anybody on there.
I left Twitter behind once it got real, Nazi over there, and I have not missed it. I am on Blue Sky, but I don't be posting on Blue Sky like that. I go to Blue Sky, basically same thing you do for Twitter. Just keep on the news of the day, video game stuff, so forth and so on, and I do fine with that. I'm just I don't know, man. I am. You believe. Sometimes you'd be like, man, this country's just going to hell in a handbasket. And other times you're just like, no. We are something great here and we're going to be great and blah, blah, blah. And then this motherfucker come out and say some wild ass reckless shit like that. And you're just like, are we going to hell in a handbasket?
I mean, there's always been division on things, social subjects, going back to the beginning of this country. It's just this is what we're dealing with at this particular time.
Yeah, man. It's just
there's always gonna be someone who thinks some way and someone else thinks another, and that's just the way the world is.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't understand why we can't have differing opinions and be cool. Why it's got to be different opinions? Got to lead to like nonsense. I hate that part of it. But that is, of course, just humanity.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, that like there's certain difference of opinions that some people think are just unforgivable when the opinions are different, and so like there's always going to be that animosity, especially when it comes to social issues. It's not as simple as like, oh, I think we should paint the building red, or I think we should paint it blue. Well, we're at an impasse. But it's like, I don't think you should be able to vote.
Yeah, you'll hear people say like, "Oh, it's just as easy as it's a difference of opinion. We can all get along." It's like, sir, you fundamentally think I shouldn't have rights. That's very different than you don't like pineapple on your pizza. See, that's an opinion. You are saying to me, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me, man. It's like it's obvious, it's bothersome, and it's just like, wow, man, really, y'all? We doing that still? I don't know. It's bucking is fucking wild to me, man. I don't really care anymore what they named the baseball team, but I'd be lying if I did if I said that I didn't like the Chief Wahoo logo. I'm not clamoring for it to come back. It's just what I grew up on. It's like I was used to it. Like shit. I always like put shit in places and I forget that I did. Now that I'm thinking about it, I literally have a Cleveland Indians Chief Wahoo hat that's been in the back of my like car in the back window for like 6 years now. Yeah, just fading in the sun. Yeah.
Well, it was my favorite Indians hat. Like, because it had like the Chief Wahoo like etched into the brim.
Yeah.
But then I got all sweaty because I wore it all the time. And so I just put it in there because I was like, well, I'm not going to wear this anymore, but I want it to live on. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'm kind of thankful that no one's like bashed out my window all this time.
But that's the thing. It doesn't rise to that level of animosity to people on the other side of it. They just like, hey man, let's not do that no more. And people have been like, okay, I can come to terms with that. Let's not do that anymore. And that's just it. Whereas this dude is like talking about, I'm gonna make it that you can't get a stadium if you don't fucking change this name back to this racist moniker. And it's just
well,
like,
the thing is too, they dug up tweets from him from like 12 years ago where like he was like bashing, I think it was Obama at the time, about like not worrying about like what the Washington football team like named themselves and that like he had better things to do and shit. And now here he is in president doing the same shit that he was telling other presidents not to do.
right.
But it's always like, it's like that all the time.
You're always gonna find people saying one thing and then like, hey man, here's you saying something different a bunch of years ago. I think he gets one. I think he's old, and just
no shit.
But I feel like oftentimes he's getting fed shit to be like, hey man, stay this because I'm saying it'll hopefully. In this case, they of course want to pull, the onus, the focus away from this Epstein shit. That at this point is like, well, it don't seem like it's going nowhere. So he keep trying to like, I'm gonna drop this Martin Luther King shit. It's like, I mean, buddy, I gotta tell you, my man's been dead for almost going near 60 years, then 50 at this point. Just not really worried about what happened in the 60s at this point in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Also, it was like the FBI's tracking of him from the 50s, I think, is what the information they released to us. So it was just like, I care even less because that's so out of date. So that's not going to do it. You telling these sports organizations to change their name is wild, and that's not going to do it. And then the New York Times releasing the article that basically said, oh, yeah, both show he was definitely in his Epstein report, and his attorney general let him know as much back in May. But he's just here. And then, of course, the House running out of Washington like, oh, yeah, we're not going to talk about it no more. It's like, no, buddy. That doesn't carry like you think it would. And it just becomes like one of the things that a lot of Republican types, I'm not going to say all Republicans, was really on that shit about was like, he's going to fight to stop sex trafficking. They've been on that shit hard. A whole bunch of that QAnon shit has been them talking about how Donald Trump was on the side of the good and he was going to fight against sex, any kind of nonsense like this. And now it's like it's turning out that he is likely, allegedly, I can actually sprinkle that one on there, was a part of this whole operation, this whole situation. It's throwing some people for a loop. Which one is this? Is this
That's Shuri.
Yeah. So she's like, fucking, I'm on your back, old man. You deal with it.
Oh, she's on the back of the chair. I was just moving my head so she gets a little camera time.
What's up,
baby?
man?
She didn't like hearing those Hulk Hogan quotes you were reading earlier. My little black daughter.
Cat knows what's up, man. It is
She only been alive for a year, but she didn't fuck with Hulk Hogan either.
the long order sure way. We know what's up, and I'm sure it's we got SmackDown here tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, that is here, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going because their tickets are outrageously expensive now.
Fair. Surprised you have to connect to see if he can get you in there.
You don't have that connect no more.
Oh, say word.
Yeah, they gave that up.
Played themselves. I would have kept that.
I would have too, but it ain't my money.
Fair. Well, there you go. Then I understand why you're not going to attend and waste your bread on that because of course that's what's going to be. They're going to have to give him his little shine, and that's the next show.
I'll be going to AEW. I think it's like August 6th or something at the Wolstein Center.
I recall you telling me about that. Yeah. So respect due to that wrestling organization until something comes out about them too, because you know how this goes. Rarely do you catch a man just straight up on tape. Talk about 8-foot niggas. Excuse me, niggers. We want to make sure we quote that man warmly, so you know what he said, and that he said it with the hard R.
A couple months back, there's a wrestler that's in AEW, but he used to be in WWE, and he was in WWE around the time that like all that shit happened. His name's Shelton Benjamin, and Hulk Hogan kept trying to like bring him up in conversation on Twitter and shit, but he kept calling him the wrong name. And then like Shelton Benjamin finally like had enough, and he like basically on Twitter told Hulk Hogan to stop fucking saying his name out, that he didn't want anything to do with him and shit. And then he like told everybody that like when it all happened, and then like Hulk Hogan like addressed the locker room to like talk about it, that like what he said was like he didn't really apologize for what he said. Like his apology made it sound like more like he was trying to tell everybody be careful not to get caught doing shit that you don't want people hearing. Now that he was sorry that he said what he said.
Just
he's more sorry he got caught than he was sorry that he said it.
Yeah.
Man.
I wonder what happened to Brick's music career. She had that one song. It kind of was popular. Do you remember that track she had?
If I heard it, probably it would come back, but I don't think I'm bumping Brooke Hogan on my Spotify.
She had, like I said, she had the singular track. I was like, that ain't bad. And again, another fan that had a reality TV show, so you feel like you know him a little better than you actually do. Fucking, you know.
I feel like it would be weird for me, like if I was the child of some celebrity who was using a false name, like a stage name, and then I had to go around like pretending like my last name was that stage name. If I didn't want to be part of like that like fake family name, you know, like if I wanted to just be like like if she's Brooke Bollea, you know, but she got to go as like, oh, I'm Brooke Hogan. Like, no, you're not. You're Brooke Bollea. Your dad's last name is Pretend Hogan. You ain't Pretend Hogan.
Like, is it even Brooke like Bollea? Is that just like I said, her stage name? Like,
I mean, like
she could be Shannon Bollea for all we know. We don't know if she's like Brooke Hogan.
I mean, that's fair. Let's go to the Google machine.
I literally was about to do it. Brooke Hogan.
Yeah, it's Brooke Ellen Oleski. Oh, she must have gotten married.
Oh. Yeah, her partner is Steven Oleski, an American ice hockey defenseman.
Oh, she's had 2 kids.
She have twins or just 2 separate?
I mean, Wikipedia says 2 kids.
There's a picture I'm looking at.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
She had twins back in January of this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of Steven Oleski next to her, and they're holding babies. And I'm like, man, that's both little babies. So she had twins. Hey, respect it. 39, 37. What's her mom's actual name?
Linda Marie Cladridge.
Okay.
I didn't realize that she divorced Hulk Hogan 16 years ago.
Yeah, he was married to somebody named Star or some shit like that. I forgot what his wife's name is.
Sky Daly.
Sky, okay. Sky.
Oh, so he married Sky 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He was married to somebody else during the 2010s, some lady named Jennifer McDaniel. Terry Jean Bollea.
25 years younger than him. She is a yoga instructor. I don't think she's no longer.
It amazes me how fast Wikipedia updates.
Well, yeah, people be on that shit.
Be on that shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are you trying to like fucking be the first on Wikipedia? It doesn't get you anything. It's not like you get like fucking upvotes or anything.
No, the point of that is to try to keep Wikipedia as current as possible at all times. That's just what that is.
I know, but like he could have like I don't know how he passed away, but like imagine like his heart just stopped and they just call it, the doctor just calls it. There's already a nurse on Wikipedia updating that shit like before anyone clears the room. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, I appreciate like the speed of which we keep a record of things. It's just wild to me like how on it people be.
Yeah. Man. Again, like I said, it is a buddy. It has been a heck of a week. And like I said, I thought I'd talk to y'all about that. Talking to y'all about the beginning of the week and so forth.
Yeah, it was funny. Like when Ozzy passed away the other day.
Yeah,
Like, we mentioned it like in our team chat that we have set up, and the one lady's like, "Ozzy passed? I can't believe it." And then like 4 of us were like, "We can't believe he made it this far." I'm actually not surprised he's gone. Like, all the stuff that he had and the things he had going on, like shit, he powered through. He was a trooper.
Yeah, 76 years old, man. May he rest easy, bro. Fuck with it, man. Crazy. So, rest easy to all but one of those people, and he can do what he will. I don't care. I'm not going to say, well, in general.
You can say in the immortal words of the Iron Sheik.
Just fuck Hogan.
It's fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan word life. People was like, man, he gonna go wrestle Iron Sheik in heaven. People were like, I don't think he's gonna be going to see Iron Sheik in heaven. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right about that, buddy.
I saw a video on Instagram this afternoon where I don't know what the fuck it was from, but Hulk Hogan was like looking like he was like crawling through some like forest or some shit, and he was like talking to himself, and he's like, what is this place? Oh, the water's not hot, blah 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 blah. And then it cut to the scene that they use in Instagram videos all the time, where it's the one black actor, I don't know his name, but he's like in a car. And he like leans over and he screams, "Welcome to hell, motherfucker!"
Clarence Williams III.
Yeah,
link from the Mod Squad if you want to take it way back. Yeah, but yeah, that's hilarious. That's from Tales from the Hood. If you didn't know where that scene's from, yeah. So know it sounds bad, but it's all good.
I haven't seen that movie in a long ass time.
Yeah, I only saw it like the one time, and I was like, that's plenty.
Yeah, like the one short they had in the movie where the little dolls were like running around and shit. Man, that's creepy as fuck.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone in that one. You know what I'm saying? But let me wrap you for a little bit, and then we'll start a show. And it's gonna be like I said, brief. Like I said, you just got some news in the top part of this show, so I'm not gonna do no more news. So I'm gonna wrap. Come back. Hand the reins over to Dan. Reins come back to me. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be brief. We're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
You better love it. You better rate it 5 stars.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. Rate this shit 5 stars. Trying to work my magic over on YouTube with weird faces. It's craziness, man.
Even if you don't think it's like that good, pretend like it's out of 10 stars, and then you only want to give us half. So just click the 5.
I like this thinking. That's a good process to have made. Again, let me drag everything over here, so I'm kind of looking at the camera. I remember late nights, pissy hallways driving me psycho. The money wouldn't come fast enough. We was back and forth downstream line, moving weight was like lipo. The rest of y'all stuck in a rut. Niggas double cross and talk behind your back. See, that's where the knife go. I guess they wasn't fucking with us. Some niggas get the luck of the draw. For others, life is a dice roll, and waiting on fate ain't for us. When you young, you realize that you can't trust a mouth where the pipe go. They try but couldn't love you enough. Dance music on my neck, where's your water bottle? Diamonds, the light show, looking like the sun in the club. If you re-it up with us, then your credit score gotta be FICO. I'm talking 850 or bust. See, you really real power when you make niggas balance on tight ropes. They know they not much for the blood. Have my man shoot your block, I'ma send his ass far as the flight go. Ain't worried about ducking a judge. Keep fronting for your bitches, cause any minutes repo might show. You know that shit up in a month. Heard your man was in there singing for his life. They was calling him Maestro. Cause time that heavy can crush. When you pay a nigga back like it's layaway, whispering, die slow. The last words you hear in the trunk. You don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw. No. You ain't been where I go. With a fetty so strong, you got to bag it with one eye closed. My shooter turned you inside out. I heard the feds turn the crib inside out. Drop the roof on you niggas, let the inside out. Fresh Prince jacket, boy, I cook them till they inside out. Hey, welcome to it. It's episode 580, and no, I'm not talking about my GPU. I'm your host, the Internet Stable 713, joined by the Right Reverend Lunchbox 2099. Say something, Jesus.
Blessed be.
We back at it like a bad habit, you know what I'm saying? Last show that went up was me and Gabe up in Michigan filming and recording together. So that's what you got last week. No show this week. I probably should do something for my patrons. I'll figure out what I can do to get something up for you guys. But we back at it. You know, we doing the dang thing. And like I told you, I'm about to just hang the reins over the box. But you know what I'm saying? Just want to give you a little bit of an intro. But before I give it to you, man, anything you want to share with people before you share with the people?
That seems like it would be a waste of their time for me to double share.
Fair enough,
you never double dip and you never double share.
Then let me click this button.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
There's like an icon in the lower right corner on that screen, and I don't know what it is. I'm like, should I find another rainbow video to replace in that video? But right now, I'm not worried about it. But I'm just it always hits me just a little bit like, what is going on right there?
It's a leprechaun at the end.
We'll go with that. That's not what it looks like, but still. Box, what's the good word, Reverend?
So I did something last weekend. And I started to tell you this at your house the other day, but you got pulled away and I never finished the story. So I did something this past Saturday that I hadn't done in approximately 13 years. I played in a constructed Magic the Gathering tournament. And so I went to this shop, and initially the tournament fee was listed as $30. Then it changed to $35, and then they charged us tax. So I paid $38 and some change to play in this damn thing. So there was a cap of 32 players because this place wasn't that big.
Okay.
And keep in mind, like I said, this is a constructed tournament, which means you have to come with your deck already made. So the store is not supplying you any product whatsoever. So,
forgive me. Are there other types of tournaments that work a different way than that?
Yeah, there's like limited events where like you play with sealed booster packs and make decks out of the cards that like are randomly in the packs. Okay. This is you construct a deck at home and bring it with you, turn in a deck list, and you play with that. So like you're not like the store's not providing you anything, you're bringing it with you. Obviously, you can buy singles and stuff from the store, but like the format is literally you come with your own deck and you play.
Okay.
So I paid $38 to get in this tournament. There was a cap of 32 players. Only 8 of us showed up. 3 of the players were from my car. So it was me and 2 people, when then 5 other strangers were playing in this thing. So like we go to this shop, and I've never been to this place before. It's like a mile past the Hartville Flea Market, which I love the flea market. And like I said, I haven't played I've played in a couple of store drafts like last year, but I haven't played constructed at all. And so like we show up, and I don't usually talk to people I don't know at things like this. Plus I'm trying to get focused.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in the mindset of like paying attention to what I'm doing, like be in the moment, be present. But yeah, I'm with like a fucking extrovert who doesn't feel comfortable unless he's talking to everybody. And so he gets all these people talking, and so like they start talking to me, so I'm talking, and we basically tell them that like we haven't played in forever. Like I am out of my car, I haven't played the longest. Yeah. Like the other 2 have played more recently than I have. Granted, for them it was still a couple of years ago as well, but they've definitely played more recently than I have. And so like the one kid was like a 19-year-old kid who like clearly was like socially awkward with like some sort of like autism of sorts, and so he had a little bit of a Rain Man thing going on about him, where like he told us he'd only been playing Magic for like 2 years, but he knew all the cards from like from a set from like 1994 to now. So he like, I'm like, okay, this kid's a fucking savant. Like, okay. And then there was like some guy sitting in the corner by himself, kind of being quiet. And then there was another guy who was like clearly in like his mid-20s. He was kind of chatty. He was being nice. I could tell that like he felt like he was a good player. And so like he did like the fact that we were older guys and we hadn't played him forever, he probably didn't see us as threats or whatever. And then we only had 7 players at this point, so it's a couple minutes before the thing's about to start, and all of a sudden this guy comes in, and apparently he's friends with the one kid who was there being nice to us, and he smells terrible. He's got that typical like Magic player stigma about him, where he smells like he hasn't showered in days, and he's tweaking, we'll call it. And so like, because we end up with only 8 players, they don't do like Swiss rounds and like cut to a top 8 based off record. They just immediately cut to the top 8, which they make single elimination.
Yeah.
So we played 30. We each paid $38, thinking we were going to play in like a tournament all afternoon, and it immediately turns into a single elimination tournament.
That's wild. That's actually, I feel like they owe you money.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. When we all signed up, the lady said that she was going to hook it up in the prize pool. So that's why I brought up the entry point at the beginning, because I'm going to get back to that.
Yeah.
So it turns into a single elimination tournament, and I get paired up against the kid in the quarters, we'll call it.
Stinky Boy.
No, I don't get paired up against Stinky Boy. I get paired up against Stinky Boy's friend, who was being nice to us before Stinky Boy showed up.
Quite.
So we're shuffling up and doing dice rolls and everything, and my one buddy is playing Stinky Boy next to us, and he's making small talk with Stinky Boy, and somehow it comes up. He like tells them that I used to be a pro Magic player, or he tells them I'm a pro Magic player.
Yeah, and
they immediately get like, what? And then they start talking to me, and they're like, you played in the Pro Tour? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, which one? And I'm like, Pro Tour Dark Ascension. And then they're like, oh, really? That's awesome. And then they start asking me how I did and shit. And, like, my opponent, before all this, seemed loose, calm, happy. He wasn't loose, calm, happy no more. Like,
pulled him right out his hookup. Like, how about that? We were playing against the damn pros.
Yeah, he got kind of like, all right, like, this is gonna be harder than I thought, kind of like about him.
Yeah.
And so like he immediately knew what I was playing within like 2 turns, because like he plays this game like very regularly. Like, he was telling us about all these stores and stuff that he goes to, and it was funny. He kept trying to tell the one guy that was with me, they're like, oh man, you should come up here and play this on Mondays. And then like he was being real persistent, kind of like some guy that was like really interested in somebody. Because then at one point, like when he was like trying to convince him, he's like, oh, you can come too. Thinking like, I'm like, thanks for the invite. But so I'm playing this kid. I'm going to call him kid. I from what I gleaned from the conversation, he was like 24, but I'm about to be 40. So to me, I played this kid.
Yeah.
So I played this young man. I played this kid, and he's playing like a control deck, like a blue-white control deck that he kind of like homebrewed a little bit. But it's got like good cards in it and shit. And but turns out, you know, this old man still got game, because I outplayed the kid, beat him game 1. And then game 2, kind of much more the same. Like, it goes on for a while. You know, I play some cards. He can't beat them. I end up, you know, taking the game. He concedes, loses.
Okay.
So I make it to the semifinals, and I get paired up against Smelly Kid. And Smelly Kid sits down across from me, and I knew he was playing the best deck in the format.
Okay.
So I knew I had my work cut out for me. And things like he gets a really fast draw game one. Like, it's very hard for me to, like, stabilize. It's hard for me to kind of explain exactly. I'm just going to use generic terms here rather than do, like detailed gameplay, because I don't imagine we have a lot of Magic the Gathering listeners that would understand exactly what I'm saying.
If you do understand what man is saying, then you're going to get more out of this than somebody who doesn't. But he's going to try to break it down simply for the rest of us.
Basically, he's playing a fast creature deck that's like the best fast creature deck in the format.
Okay.
And before my deck wasn't designed to really cast its namesake spells before the third turn of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, he gets on the board on the first turn. And so by the time that, like, I was at the point where I could even, like, kind of, like, cast what my deck does, I was already, like, halfway dead. And so, like, I fire off a spell that, like, does what my deck's... I was playing a deck called Living End. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I get the card. My deck's made so that it, like, kind of always finds the card.
Yeah.
And so, like, the spell goes on the stack. It's kind of like where it hasn't, happened yet. It's waiting to see if anything else is going to happen or stop it or whatever. And then he plays this spell in his hand thinking that he's, like, got me trapped. And I counter his trap, and I can see kind of his face change. Like, I'm like, oh, shit. But then because his deck is so good, he still managed to draw out of it and ended up taking the game a few turns later.
Okay.
Because, like, his draw was just, that game was just too fast for me to be able to stabilize. Like, I needed to stabilize a little sooner, but I couldn't. And I was on the back foot the whole time, and I ended up not being able to finish him in time. So then, like, we sideboard, go to game 2. And so I'm on the play of this game, so he's not going to, get me down as fast because I'm acting first.
Yeah.
And things are going all right for a while. Like, he's doing his thing, but then, like, I kind of, like, reset the board. And then at one point I kind of, like, reset the board again. But when this happened each time, I had, like, a creature come into play that when it came into play, it made a token.
Yeah.
And, like, in Magic, they print a lot of, like, paper tokens now. It wasn't so much like that back in the day. Like, a lot of the tokens back in the day came in, like, player rewards programs and stuff. Okay. But now it's, like, the tokens are in booster packs and shit all the time. But I didn't have tokens for my guy, like, for the thing he makes when he comes into play. They're called food tokens. And so when I made the tokens on the game board, I used, like, it was actually one of these because I had a little blocky. They're little dice, and I just put the dice on the table and I said, "Hey, this dice represents a token because I don't have tokens." So this happened twice because I had to, like, that creature come in and play 2 different times. So the game's going on, and I have these 2 dice sitting on the table, which I've both times made mention of the fact that they represent those tokens that were made off of that guy. I didn't hide the fact that they were there. I audibly said it. So, and he didn't object. He could have at any point objected or offered a token, or we could have done something else. But each time I put the dice down, he didn't say anything. He let it. It was fine.
Yeah.
So then the game's going on, and I take control. But then, like, right before I'm about to kill him, he basically draws a couple cards off of a creature that comes in. And it ends up being, like, the 2 best cards he could possibly draw. He starts to, like, pull back into the game and kind of, like, stabilizes his side. And then I attack him again, get him back down to low where, like, I would need to hit him, like, one more time to kill him. And he makes a bunch of guys again, brings his life total back up. And then he draws a card that is, like, an enchantment. So it's like... It's just like a spell that sits on the field permanently.
Yeah.
And it basically says that he can sacrifice a creature to deal 1 point of damage directly to any target. And I was at 13 life, and he had 16 creatures in play. So he could literally throw all of his creatures directly at me to kill me.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a card in my hand that says I can pay 2 life to discard it and then draw another card. So I do that, hoping that I could draw like something to stop that from coming into play. I don't. So the enchantment resolves. It's in play. So then he goes, sacrifice all my guys, kill you. And I go, sacrifice my 2 food tokens, gain 6 life. I'm at 1. And then he flips the fuck out. Starts screaming about how I misrepresented the board state by not using tokens. And what it really, the crux of the issue here is he forgot the dice were there that represented 3, because each token could be sacrificed to gain 3 life. And I didn't tap any mana, so I had the mana to activate both of them.
Yeah.
He shortcutted, sacrificed all of his creatures, so he had no creatures left in play, and he had no cards in his hand. And I gained the 6 life to go to 1 life point, and then I would have killed him on my turn, and we would have had to go to game 3.
Yeah.
So he went from couldn't possibly lose to he just threw the game because he forgot the 2 dice were food tokens.
Yeah.
Even though I told him both times. So he waited until he fucked up through the game to throw a temper tantrum, call a judge over, and try to tell the judge that I misrepresented the board and that it was my fault that it happened and that he should be allowed to back up and undo the mistake.
Yeah.
Which, like, is kind of bullshit because we're in, like, a tournament we paid damn near $40 for. You fucked up. Like, it's one thing to have, like, a procedural error in the moment. Like, because there was one turn where, like, I tried to play something on his turn and I couldn't because I didn't realize the one creature he had in place that I couldn't play spells on his turn.
Yeah.
And so all I do is I just don't cast a spell. It's as simple as that. But this is, like, these were sitting in play forever. You announced that you sacrificed all your guys, which you're legally allowed to do. Like, what I had tried to do was an illegal game action that should never have been allowed to take place, and then it wasn't. We undid it immediately. He declared that he sacrificed everybody on his side of the table and then tried to kill me, and then got upset when he realized that he fucked up, and then tried to, like, rules lawyer his way out of his own mistake.
Yeah.
So I don't know this guy, like, he was the judge of the tournament or whatever. He asked politely if we could just back it up, even though, like, I shouldn't have had to.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Argue with this dude? You know, like. So there was no one I could appeal to because it's a fucking tiny store tournament and he's the only one there.
Yeah.
So it's like basically his work ended up being final, whether I agree with it or not. So we ended up fucking backing it up. The guy doesn't sacrifice all his dudes, and then he wins like the next turn because I couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
And so I get knocked out in the semis. Come to find out, this guy is on drugs. Like,
for
he's
sure.
talking about being on Zoloft and some other shit.
Yeah.
Find out he just got out of rehab. His parents sent him to rehab for gambling addiction. So that was neat. And then he ends up going into finals, and he ends up winning. The tournament we were in was we were playing for an invite to a big tournament in Las Vegas, Nevada, the capital of gambling. So after the tournament, I heard
you told me this, but I didn't. For whatever reason, if you don't know, me and Box hung out this weekend, so I know this story. It wasn't dawning on me, or didn't dawn on me till just now. You could have went to Vegas off this shit.
Yeah.
I would have had that. I don't know, man. Well,
I mean, I would have had to have paid for my flight there.
You would would have had to have won game 3 and then go to the finals and win that and so forth. Yeah. So it's not just that you were auto whatever. But
yeah, it wasn't auto, but the prize for the tournament was an invite to the regional championships in Las Vegas.
Yeah, fuck that old crackhead.
Ugh. Yeah, so it was funny because after the tournament was over and he won the invite,
yeah,
he was talking to the guy who was the judge and the guy who was like running the tournament, and he's like, "Hey, my name's not going to be attached to this online anywhere, is it?" Because he didn't want his parents to find out that he was going to Vegas for winning this tournament.
Whereas a hater like me is definitely trying to find out that dude's name, and I'm gonna call his mama.
Yeah, well, it ain't that deep for me. But so the reason I had brought up the entry fee at the beginning of all this was because, like I said, after it was like with tax and everything, it was $38 and some change.
Yeah.
So if I just take $38 times the 8 people that entered the tournament, the store took in $304 for a tournament that they didn't have to pay. Like there was no product given to any of us.
Yeah.
Now we each did receive a pin that said we were played in the top 8 of a regional qualifier tournament or whatever. So I got a little pin, and then they gave us each a promo card, or 2 promo cards, I'm sorry, which I believe they get for free anyway from Wizards, or if they pay for them, it is a minimal amount, but I'm pretty sure they get them for free to run the tournaments.
Yeah.
Now, when we signed up to play in this tournament, they said they were going to hook us up in the prize pool. Well, they took in $304, and they gave $40 to first place and $20 to second place, and that's it. So they pocketed $244 on a tournament where they didn't have to pay out any prize support whatsoever, like product. I mean,
yeah.
And they hooked us up. So I paid $38 to play in an immediate top-based single elimination tournament where they didn't give any prize outside of the top 2 people, and they only gave a fifth of the money they took in as store credit. Even they didn't even. It's not like they got cash back or nothing. It was literally store credit.
I am going to tell you, listeners, just in case this something goes awry here. I don't know if you could hear the thunder cracking in my background, and my neighborhood storm siren just went off. So if it goes down and it just all crashes out, you knew it was because the storm is acting up, and I might have lost power and or my roof because the tornado came through or whatever. But it's just raining right now and thundering, so just want to make sure everybody's aware. Oh my gosh, man! I gotta take trash out tonight. This is gonna be garbo. I need that rain to come and go. Okay. So, what we do going forward? Definitely get some tokens. So it can never be said you ain't got them shits, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe some Axe body spray for motherfuckers like him. Just hit him with that.
I remember back in the day, there was the one guy who got banned from playing Magic the Gathering because he went to the one tournament and he would kneel down and take pictures in front of everyone's butt cracks at the chairs. He became a fucking indie wrestler too. I saw at one point. I think he's from Southern Ohio, and he was like working at like Domino's Pizza. And he became like an indie wrestler.
What lessons do you take from this deck situation? Are you gonna tweak your deck a little bit, or you just know what you're doing with this particular deck? You're like, look, I can work this motherfucker. Clearly, you did, because you like said you got out the first.
I was impressed. Like, so here's the thing. Like I said at the beginning of all this, I hadn't played in a constructed tournament in 13 years.
Yeah.
I also didn't practice against live people really. I played 4 practice games the night before with one dude, and his deck couldn't possibly beat mine like at all.
Yeah.
Like it was literally just me goldfishing against him. Like I beat him on like turn 4 every time.
Okay.
So it's like I wasn't really like I had like strenuous, rigorous testing.
Yeah.
I'm just really good at like watching YouTube videos and absorbing the information.
Study your arts.
Yeah, studying it, mimicking it. I'm good at reading articles and like taking information from that and applying it. And then, like, in the moment, I just try to make, like, sound decisions and play things in proper orders and whatnot. Like, so I was impressed. My takeaway is I was impressed with my performance considering how little experience I had playing the deck in person.
Yeah.
Against an actual person, like, rather than just, like, drawing hands by myself. And so that told me that if I wanted to play more, like, I can. Like, I've still got it in me.
Yeah.
I did realize too that like I don't necessarily want to like do traveling all the time all over again like I used to back in the day. Yeah. I think I'd rather play just certain things for fun or like maybe a big thing every now and again. Yeah. But I have no desire to go massive traveling every weekend like I used to. But I did enjoy like even though like I had that like kind of shitty experience with that, I did enjoy the competition again. I'm not so much concerned about like that deck necessarily like editing it or tweaking it or whatever because like I'm not sure I'm going to play that format again until I go to Atlanta for my birthday at the end of September. So I may not even touch it again for 2 months, and a lot can change in 2 months, and I may play something else. I'm like, who knows?
Yeah.
It was just I knew we talked about like playing in that format in Atlanta, and then it turned out that this tournament was coming up in like 2 weeks when we discovered it.
Yeah.
And the deck that I built, I was comfortable playing because I played like a version of it like 13 years ago. It was different like colors a little bit, but I had an idea of how the deck functions, what to do. And it wasn't that expensive. Like I had some of it already, and then a lot of the deck was just like commons and uncommons, or like a quarter each or something. And I think like I spent like $400 getting the things I needed to complete it.
Yeah.
And relatively speaking, that's nothing, because a lot of the stuff that I spent that was costly for that, I can use in other things. So it was like I was going to buy that shit anyway. So I made some of those commons and uncommons, like I may never get used again, or like if I end up changing, they'll sit in a box, and maybe someday I'll dust something like this off again and they'll get used. But like, paying a quarter for something for a tournament, like that's a minimal cost needed. Okay.
I dig it, man. That's one of the coolest things about Box when I first met him was him explaining to me way back 13 years ago. To be real with you, it's been that long at this point, right? So whatever. Him explained to me how
maybe it was 12 years ago I stopped playing.
Yeah,
because I think I still played for like a year or so after like I started working with you.
Yeah, because you had the Sable.
Yeah, so yeah, it's probably about 12 years ago I had quit.
Yeah,
we'll call it retired.
Retired is actually the actual thing, because I'm saying that's exactly what it was. So, and I don't know. I always thought it was dope, and I like that you're kind of not back at it, but that you are like getting down with some Magic. Also, it seems to be, and I'm not saying Magic left or whatever stopped, but it seems real big now. Like whatever Wizards of the Coast got it really popping right now. I'll send you a video. Kind of funny. Had Magic going on there. They did a stream of Magic the other day, which is like for them not normal. They're mostly just video games, but they end up doing they streamed.
I'm what I would consider a Magic boomer. I don't like a lot of new Magic stuff.
Yeah. But they do stuff with Final Fantasy and this, that, and the third. They do
that shit I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. Like I get that a lot of people do, and I obviously Hasbro wants to make money. Like they're pumping out a Spider-Man set that's coming out on my birthday.
Yeah.
And like Venom's my favorite comic book character, and Venom's gonna be a Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah.
You would think that like I would like be like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like I'm gonna get it because it's like I like those two things. But like realistically, if I had my choice, I would never have done that shit to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I don't play Final Fantasy, so like it's not as bad for me like with it. But like I don't really like it to begin. I like Magic because Magic was Magic.
Yeah.
I don't need Assassin's Creed Magic the Gathering cards, or I fucking hate the fact that there's SpongeBob SquarePants Magic cards now. That exists. They did Doctor Who like before I started getting back into this again, and it's just like I don't like the universes beyond like drag other franchises in here for money grab shit. Like I liked Magic because it had its own story, its own characters, its own thing. I don't like intermingling different franchises, lore into it, because then it's weird to me. Like if I'm playing like a deck and it's got like Magic spells and creatures and characters, and then all of a sudden like, oh, here's Wolverine. Like,
can you intermingle these cards and sets?
Yeah, like depending on the format.
Okay.
Like Legacy, you can play these cards, and Commander, obviously, because that's what they're initially intended for. A lot of them, certain formats like they're not able to be played in, but like the format like that I like is Legacy. There's a format that's like not technically a legal format that's recognized by like Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast or whatever. It's called pre-modern. It's more of a fan-made format that like they kind of regulated by people, and I'm more into that because it's like older cards from back when I was first learning to play, like when I was younger.
Yeah.
So like that's what's kind of got my interest now. But yeah, it's just like this universe is beyond stuff. I don't like, and I don't really like Commander either. Like I don't like playing 100 card decks at a table with like 4 or 5 people. Like I don't like that shit. I'm a competitive player at heart. One, I can't shuffle a fucking 100 card singleton deck. It's too fucking big. So it's like I can't even hold the goddamn thing. And then like only time I play Commander is when my buddy Jack invites me over to his apartment to play with him and his buddy. And like he knows that I don't really like Commander, but that I'm willing to come over, hang out, and play with them if they ask. But like I do not seek out Commander. I have no desire to be a competitive Commander player. I just don't care. And I am putting a Commander deck together for playing with them because I did find he had a deck that he put together a couple weeks back that he let me play when I was at his apartment, and I did like it. Yeah. So like that particular deck. So if I'm gonna play with them, I'm gonna want to play something that I actually like playing. So I'm kind of working on putting that or some version of that together so that if I go over there more, I can bring that with me. But outside of that, I am not dipping my fucking toes into like Commander and making a bunch of decks and doing all this shit. Like I don't like the multiplayer formats. I want one-on-one, me versus you. Like that's what I enjoy.
Yeah. I respect it, man, and I understand. It's like you're saying, just you get to be the magic hipster. Like I was doing this before shit was sweet, motherfuckers. So I grasped that. That's pretty dope for me. I'm just like I said, I just enjoy the fact you got it. You got in the mix. Went and played some did well despite the nonsense that nobody showing up for this tourney and so forth and so on. And
I mean, like in all honesty, though, like it's like it just sucks in that people didn't show up because I did kind of want to like play more,
get a run. But yeah.
If you're a competitive Magic the Gathering player, paying to get into a tournament and immediately making the top 8 is kind of like actually the dream.
Yeah.
So it's a little give and take there.
Like I walked through the door up in this motherfucker. I was dope. That's so. I hear that. That's good shit, man. Anything else before we hustle right along to Buffalo, man? You good?
I'm good. That we can put a bow on that.
Fair enough, y'all. It's my turn to talk. Look, and I even got a thing for it now. Here, let me play on it. So my youngest turned 18 last week. I have an adult. I've done it. I've caught all the Pokemon. I've raised these 2 children that I created to adulthood. I think that's pretty great. That's a good success story to write off and celebrate. And I think that's like, okay, cool, man. That's not so bad. But to celebrate both that child's birthday and his recent graduation, we had a set here at the house the other day. Attended by the Reverend Box here, along with Aunt and Gabe and all kinds of other people. I got down to get down. All of Vanessa's sisters and the 2 that are married. Husband came through. The kids' aunts and uncle came through. It was a dope little set, man. Just chill vibes. Box brought a lovely pie. That he picked up down there in around the area where he was playing this tournament we were just discussing it. Just a really vibey situation, y'all. It was good to be with and see my friends. I know it was my kid's party, but it's like on my kid's actual birthday, we had already hung out, did happy birthday and so forth This is more like the set. You know what I'm saying? This is like, okay, let me have family over so they can show love and so forth. But Gabe is still in the reach, close enough in the region that he came down, brought his kids through, and that was great because then because I'm just Uncle T to them, so you know what I'm saying. I got to kick with them. They got to see my son because they hadn't seen him in a bit, so that was pretty great. My oldest son, forgive me, and because my youngest came with me when we recorded the other day, so it was just very nice, y'all. I just was grateful to kind of have us. It was not supposed to happen at our house. It was going to happen at Vanessa's mom's house, and she ended up remembering that she had her colonoscopy the next day, which means all day Sunday she was very much suffering. Because if you hadn't had your colonoscopy yet, and trust me, you will sooner than later, you got to clear the decks the day before that operation goes down, and you start that right around the afternoon of the day before, and you have to drink stuff that's gonna clean out your intestines. And trust me, by the time it's all said and done, you should be pooping water. Just that's what they want. They want a clear deck situation. So she could not host any longer. So we moved the operation over here. Vanessa's sister brought some extra chairs and stuff like that there, and it was just like I said. I don't know. I really dug. It's been a while since we had a set at the house, and it was very, very nice to do that. Gabe's oldest daughter brought a friend with her, and they were like hanging out with Vanessa. Because it's funny, my kids who are closer in age to those girls was like, "Oh no, there's some mean teen girls. They don't want to fuck with us." and I was like, "That's crazy." But what they did want to fuck with was my lady, who of course is an interesting person in her own right, has Labubu, and they're like, "Oh, you have Labubu," and they talk this, that, and the third. So of course they hung out with Vanessa for a while. I'm having to float the room and the porch because you know what I'm saying the party kind of goes out because I have to talk to all these people because I hadn't seen them in a while and so forth. So that's also kind of wild for me because I'm like, I don't feel like I can claim introvert any longer at this point because I'm not introverted. But what it actually comes down to is I'm introverted when it comes to new people. But people I know and love, we can get down with the jam. You know what I'm saying? I can move about and so forth, and I did as much. And so I think I'm not gonna be in the street, at a party. But even then, I think that's bullshit too. Because when me and Vanessa went to the Pink Pony dance party at the bowling alley near us. They also have a music venue right there. If you remember, Box talked about going there sometime back to watch a wrestler DJ a set. I had on the shirt a Good Mythical Morning shirt, and it basically says, "Everybody knows I love lesbians." And Chapel Roan kind of speaks to that the LGBTQ plus IA crowd, and so people saw that shirt was like, "Oh shit, that shirt's dope," and blah blah blah, and I end up talking to people in public. So I say I don't feel like I can claim introverted as much as once upon a time I would have, but also I'm not going out trying to make friends. I wouldn't have been. I don't know if I could have talked to Stinky Boy like you had to at the table, my guy. But I know I keep just repeating myself, but it comes down to it. The house fit everybody comfortably. We had enough food, plenty of drink. And everybody seemed to have a good time. Nobody Irish goodbye. Everybody properly was like, "All right, I'm dipping out." You know what I'm saying? Everybody showed love and peaced out properly. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the kind of set where you felt like you just had to slide out. Everybody seemingly felt comfortable enough to be like, "All right, man, thanks for having me." So forth and so on. It's all love. We'll catch you on the flip. And I think that's nice. It just means I hopefully I don't know, had a good enough set. Like I said, at some point, like I said, I was talking about Gabe's kid because they came back down here and jumped on the turntable and we're trying to, and was that very Chapel Roan we were just talking about. But of course, I'm having to teach kids how to use the turntable because they understand it, but they don't understand it. And I keep hearing them drop a needle on my shit. And I'm like, "Don't fuck up a turntable, please." And so Gabe's like, hey, watch Uncle shit. And I was like, "It's cool, baby. Relax." And I got his kids up. They asked if they could play on the Switch, and I got them set up, and they played a bunch of games, and they were chill for most of the time until they weren't. But then when they weren't, it wasn't like I'm about to whoop your ass. It was more like, hey man, come on, be cool. And so they end up getting to a point of be cool, and they played just about everything they wanted to play with no issue or anything like that there. And like I said, that was nice. I'm saying, it's just good to be with my clique. And I know most times that we're together, I'm like I'll try to force a show out of us, but this time I was just like, no man, we're just vibing, just kicking it and chatting, and it was lovely. And it's just, I don't know, it's just good to see everybody. It's just what it comes down to. Ever since the pandemic, man, I just and leaving the office behind, I don't see my friends as often as I would like to. And I know we should do something about that, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's like it's Monday through Friday is work, and then the weekend is like, we only got those 2 days. And it's just like it's more challenging than I think anybody understands. But it was really wonderful to be with my friends and my family and just vibe out and have a good time. So that's what really was popping with me this week that I care to bring up. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to work out. Not necessarily blowing the YouTube channel up, but just trying to make sure we just doing better bit by bit. And I was listening to somebody explain how the faces on the YouTube channel are matter, like the thumbnail that you see on YouTube. And if I'm going to click on YouTube right now, I'm just going to open up YouTube, and this is just what's going to be on my page of YouTube. Let's go through and let's see. There's a face. This is some art. There's a face. There's a face. There's a face, but this face is doing this. That's this person's face right here. This is the back of a Switch. This is a face, but it's Donkey Kong's face, but also same thing doing this. So that's a face. Here's a face with these ladies, both their mouths open. Here's a face with Rhett from Mythical Morning, mouth open. Here's a face, this guy with big eyes like he was shocked by something. Guy smiling, face. So what it's come down to, the current YouTube meta seems to say, have a face and have a face with a mouth open on it. And I'm just like, that's so hyper specific. It makes me question what's going on there. So I had put a show up, and we were discussing the show. I don't want you there. That's not where I want you at. And we were talking about part of the show. The show was me and Gabe came across a turtle while we were recording, and I was talking about trying to maybe change the show art a little bit, maybe the show that episode's title just on YouTube to try to figure something out. And I ended up whipping up this picture that I'm about to share with y'all. Let me share my screen. Oh my gosh. Oh, here, I gotta push the screen. Entire screen. And so there we go. So I whip this turtle up in Adobe Firefly. That's an AI generated turtle. I try not to do too much shit with AI, but that's not a real turtle if you didn't know. But he has his mouth open, and the whole thing is I write this prompt basically like surprise turtle, realistic, so on and so on. And so I take the old surprise turtle here. Here, I'm gonna stop share so I can switch to the art. Where did I stick that art at? Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. Give me close this window. I can open another window over here on this side of the screen. I go through and I'll whip up this art. Because of course I'm like, okay, they want miles open, they want to whatever, hilarious, whatever. Let me see what I can do. So of course I do it my own way, which is of course well, actually the show art was already me and Gabe's face. I'm saying, so it's like there was faces there. We didn't have any kind of surprise face. And so I was like, let me whip up a surprise face. And try to find this. Here it is. So if you're on YouTube currently, and you probably shouldn't be, but I mean, actually, here you are. You might be watching the show live, but I wouldn't change the show art. To this. And I'm amused by
funny enough, that picture showed up in my YouTube recommended the other day.
That's hilarious in its own right. That's crazy. But if you're probably it's a heads up. You're probably going to see some tweaks to our thumbnails as life goes through right quick. I'm probably going to end up putting one up and then going back and changing it out for something different or whatever. Here, I guess I should do a little face right now I can use for my own art. There we go. I did that. And maybe I'll clip that out and that'll be the show art. There's another one for you. But I don't know, man. Again, small YouTube channel, you know what it is. We are a few away from 100. Please, if you're listening and have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just get us over this hump, because this first hump is just 100. And the next hump is 500. And we're going, we're moving, we're doing things. But I'm almost at 100. I wanted to be 100 well before this, you know what I'm saying? But just is what it is. So if you have not subscribed, or if you are subscribed, but like my homegirl Rachel was like, "Oh, I watched that episode on my husband's YouTube account, and then I made him subscribe to your account." I'm like, "That's what's up." So if you have somebody that you know and you fuck around with it, and their YouTube is available for you to mess with, subscribe to us on there. Look it up. In fact, 4 more. I need 4 more to do that to hit goal one. And like, people watch the channel. I get metrics from YouTube to say, okay, you have this many hours of viewership and so forth. So I'm like, okay, it is happening. People are watching, and like Box said, it's showing up in feeds. Nick Chu told me stuff shows up in our stuff shows up in her YouTube feeds. I'm like, okay, we out here, we doing the thing. So it's just hustling, y'all. Always trying to make the hustle. We got a dollar patron the other day. You know what I'm saying? It's our lowest tier Patreon, but there is some stuff there for people who spend just the buck. You know what I'm saying? It's the let me hold something tier is what that one is. So thank you for that. So I'm saying we out here. We out here on our grizzly, y'all. I never think your boy ain't out here. We out here hustling the good word of Stage Crunchy and Milk. To all who care to join us, and now we got a reverend who can lead the church that is us. Literally ordained, everything, paperwork.
I am ordained. I am officially Reverend Daniel, last name redacted.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? That's why we just call him the Reverend Lunchbox 2099. Because that's how it gets down, people. So just respect my man's name. If you need somebody to do your wedding, you know what I'm saying? My man will probably holler at you about it. Y'all can probably work out some things, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay my man. Or at least get them to you, okay? Because that's just how it has to be.
I accept cash, crypto, gold, silver, and bridesmaids' phone numbers.
Let it be known how it goes down out here in these streets, y'all. But that's the week for us, y'all. I'm saying, but for right now, man, every week we head to the mean streets of Reddit, dig deep into the subreddits that discuss are people assholes or not. And this has its own little segment. Man, now that I know that that's a Project Pat sample, I don't think I'm ever going to be right again. It's crazy.
Is it a Project Pat sample or a Project Cat sample?
I saw that Project Cat. Did you say that? You had to say that,
yeah. I said that.
Here is our selection this week, Reverend. Am I the asshole for setting boundaries with my wife's family when she thinks I'm being unreasonable? That's one. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I'll break up with him if he doesn't start wiping his butt? And the last one. Am I the asshole husband kept peeing on the floor? Question mark. I didn't mean to pull two toilets, but here we are. So
Which is double toilet. It's a double toilet.
Double toilet it is. Let's do this P one first because for whatever reason Reddit thinks this person's an asshole, and I'm like, how did we get there? Let's find out. Am I the asshole husband kept peeing on the floor? Question mark. New to writing on Reddit and on mobile, so obligatory apologies. I think this is the place I'm supposed to post this here. That's what they wrote. Okay. But it's a pretty funny and wholesome story. If not, redirect me where I'm supposed to post this. Okay. Wow. So me, 45 female, kept getting pissed off that my husband, 52 male, kept peeing on the floor around the toilet. We've been together 12 years. For those 12 years, I've been getting pissed off that he's been missing the toilet and peeing on the floor. I'm sick of getting wet socks when I go to the toilet, and it's so annoying and frustrating. And to be frankly, if I'm going to assume autocorrect did or dirty, and to be frank, disgusting. I've been sick of cleaning up his pee. I've not yelled at him, but I have sternly talked to him about it, and he swears that he is not missing the toilet. I kept arguing. Then why is there so much pee all around the toilet? He's so confused and started. He's confused. Okay, he's confused and started sitting down to pee. Okay, there we go. Even after he started sitting down to pee, there is still pee all around the toilet. And I kept asking you, are you putting your penis down into the toilet or is it sitting on the toilet? He looked at me confused and said, no, I'm not peeing. What? No, I'm not peeing into the toilet. I don't know why there's still pee around the toilet. No, comma. No, exclamation point. I am peeing in the toilet. Stop. I don't know why there's still pee around the toilet. Okay. I'm already kind of figuring this out. I've not read this one, as you can tell. That's why it's leaving me for such a loop. I'm like, Jesus Christ, but I think I'm figuring this out already. Several months have gone by, and then I realized my dog drinks out of the toilet. He's a slobbery, gross doggo. He's the best, but he drools and slobbers everywhere. These past years, it has not been my husband getting his pee everywhere, but the dog drinking out of the toilet and slobbering all over the floor. Yes, we flush. My slobbering hound isn't drinking pee water. I don't think anybody was worried about that, but thank you for correcting if somebody was. As soon as I realized this, I apologized profusely to my husband that I've been giving him shit for the past 12 years for peeing on the floor. So I guess Reddit, am I the asshole for giving my husband shit for peeing on the floor when the whole time has actually been my dog drinking out of the toilet and slobbering everywhere? Okay. Now Reddit, of course, has called this person an asshole. I'm going to assume they did it for shits and gigs. I don't think they were actually calling this person an asshole. I'm like, this isn't asshole behavior when you believe this is what's happening. Like, bro, why is it piss all on my floor? But also, one should be able to recognize what's pee and not pee.
I was literally just about to say, is like, how did you confuse slobbered clear toilet water with pee? Pee, like, I've lived in a house with multiple guys over the years. Pee gets on the floor.
Yeah.
Pee runs down the side of the toilet. Like, there are times you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can barely see, you miss. Sometimes your penis gets a little
clogged.
Hard. Yeah, a little plugged, a little hard. It's a little soft. Like, it takes on many forms. No two shots are the same.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes your aim could be true 5 times in a row, and then all of a sudden you get a weird stream, and you gotta adjust. Like and it happens. Like, this is just what it's like to stand up and have to pee.
Yeah. And
so it's like, I've seen pee on the floor and pee on the side of the toilet. How the hell did this woman for 12 years think that clear toilet water was pee? Like, there's something wrong with her.
Yeah. ETA, I accept my "you're the asshole" conviction. I wished I'd added how humorous we both thought this has been over the years, and I've never actually berated him or shamed him. There we go.
Man, she's back. She's backtracking.
I mean, who knows? He was just concerned as I was. The reason I thought it was pee was because thick yellow liquid was building up around the connection screws in the toilet on the floor. There you go. We got that question answered. We moved last year, and we realized it was a shitty rental, and the sticky, stinky yellow liquid was probably regular bathroom condensation around the screws to rust, causing the screws to rust. When I noticed the dog was the culprit, I ran into the living room hysterically laughing. I told my husband how sorry I was 1,000 times for teasing him these past years, and he's been laughing too. He tackled me. We both had a good laugh wrestle.
He tackled you, and then then you fucked.
We never actually yell or say mean things to each other. He's actually still sitting to pee because it's just more comfortable. So I'm probably still the asshole. We lovingly call each other assholes all the time. Flipping each other off is our love language. But there's some clarification on the subject. I hope you guys enjoyed our stupid decade-long debacle. ETA, for more info, my dog has 2 giant bowls of fresh filtered well water I rinse and refill daily, regardless if it's empty or not. I don't want him drinking slobber water. Ew. I love my dog like my own child. He's also very clever. He's apparently only been drinking from the toilet when we're either asleep or away. When I usually find the water spots. So no, I haven't caught him until the one time his trickery got the best of him.
No one gives a shit that your dog's drinking out of the toilet. You're just, man, let it go.
Some people probably do, but we don't. This was one of my first Reddit posts, and I realized very quickly more context is needed. And thank you to the Redditor that suggested this should have been a "today I fucked up." Instead, you are correct, and thank you.
Sounds like you fucked up twice.
There actually is, like, in the comments, a lot of talk about the dog. So I'm telling you, man, we're the weirdos here about not giving a damn about this dog.
There's probably some person there is like, you're killing your dog by letting it drink fecal matter toilet water.
So I saw something similar to this on TikTok, and they caught it, and it turns out their cat had been just pissing in the toilet. Because the lady had been like, I've been yelling at my husband for years, make sure you flush this damn toilet, because I walk in and it be pee in the toilet. And it turned out this whole time my cat learned how to pee in the damn toilet and had been taking leaks of the toilet. And I just thought I thought this is where that story was going to end up going, but it ended up being another animal, and it ended up being slobber and wet and toilet water as opposed to actual urine. So that's how that worked out. As for the other one, am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I'll break up with him if he doesn't start wiping his butt? What you need to know is this was originally on AITA, which we call Great Value of the Asshole. But then they erased it, and they didn't say why, because they never say why. But then somebody got it before it got fully erased over there, and this is now on the Best of Redditor updates. So this is from the original post is from June 13th of this year. I, 26 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male, for almost a year. We moved in together 3 months ago, and for the most part, things have been fine. He's funny, smart, and we have good chemistry, and we share similar goals for the future. That said, there's been a problem, a really gross, ridiculous problem. When we first moved in, I noticed that he never had toilet paper rolls in his bathroom. We have 2 bathroom setups and tend to use separate ones most of the time. I figured maybe he used wipes or something else. But then I started noticing smells, like awful smells. Sometimes his laundry would stink in a very specific way. I thought maybe it was just bad hygiene in general, so I brought it up. He got really defensive and told me to drop it. Eventually, after too many suspiciously stained boxers and a level of funk no grown man should be walking around with, asked him point blank, "Do you wipe after you poop?" Jesus Christ. He shrugged and said, "Nah, wiping is kind of gay. Why would I touch my own ass?" I thought he was joking. I laughed. He didn't. Turns out he legitimately believes wiping makes you gay. and that real men let it fall out and go about their day. I told him that that's not only stupid, but also incredibly unhygienic, and honestly, it makes me feel physically sick to be near him sometimes. He said I was being judgmental and that I should accept him for who he is. I told him I draw the line at poop. I said if he didn't start wiping and taking basic hygiene seriously, I'd have to reconsider the relationship. He's now sulking and accusing me of being shallow and saying I'm prioritizing societal expectations over true love. He even texted me a link to a men's rights subreddit post about how wiping is emasculating. I'm now wondering, am I the asshole for threatening to break up with my boyfriend over something as small, it's in quotes, that's why I quoted it, as wiping?
This is as stupid as woke beans.
That was a good one.
Just like your boyfriend refuses to wipe his ass, and you're just like, you gonna fix him? Like, how deep are you into this relationship that a man who refuses? Like, how are you gonna sleep with this dude? Like, you just gonna be there, full on getting pumped, hands on his ass, just knowing that what's inches away from your fingertips?
Dating for almost a year, moved in 3 months ago.
And this dude? Come on, man, at least get a fucking bidet. Spray some water up there, something. Jesus Christ.
Wipe your ass, you fucking weirdo. And if these men's rights groups are telling you that wiping your ass is emasculating, they're weird too. Get out of here. There's no way.
I don't understand why you need to go fucking searching answers like, should I wipe my ass? Like, it's common sense. Like, doesn't your ass get itchy? Doesn't it like chafe? Doesn't it swell up from like sores? Like, how are you not hurting down there?
He
like,
is.
I've had times
I guarantee
like,
he is and thinks that's just the way it's supposed to be.
It's like, man, come on now.
Absolutely disgusting. Relevant comments because of the way this was, as you know, somebody went and got this one. They actually grabbed some stuff, some comments and other stuff. There's some comments and some updates, so I don't even have to go digging. I'll get the good comments already hand-picked for me. Not the asshole. You should absolutely break up with him. Agree. Not only does he sound homophobic, facts, and like those macho man, but he's a grown-ass man with no hygiene and no proper excuse, like mental health for it. Think about what would happen if you two have kids or something. You'd have a whole family of not wiping their ass. It's disgusting. OP responds, exactly. That's really what really hit me. If this is how he is now, what's going to happen down the line? I'm not trying to raise kids in a house where basic hygiene is optional because it's not manly. It's not just gross, it's irresponsible. And yeah, the homophobia baked into it is a huge red flag. I can't build a future with someone who equates cleanliness with weakness. Glad you know that. Let's scroll down a little bit. Somebody else responded, and they're saying, again, these are all, necessary quotes here. What the fuck? That's gross as that's what the WTF? That's gross as fuck. Dump his ass, girl. That's unlucky peas. 5819. Word up. OP responded to them. Right. I've been trying to wrap my head around how this is even real life. Like, how are you almost 30 and still walking around with a dirty butt on purpose? I'm definitely leaning toward dumping him. There's no way I can pretend this is normal. You are absolutely correct. Here's the update. Hey, again, I want to give an update because, well, it happened. I broke up with him. And it was somehow even messier than I expected. No pun intended. I'm still going to accept it as a pun because it's pretty great. I sat him down and told him I couldn't do this anymore. I explained everything calmly, that it wasn't just about wiping, but about respect for me, for himself, and for any space we shared. That I was exhausted from living in a constant secondhand filth. That I genuinely couldn't picture a future with someone who refused to do the most basic things to stay clean. He stared at me in silence for a few seconds, then laughed, like this weird fake laugh. Then he got super defensive and said, wow, so I guess you never actually cared about me. This is what ends us over wiping? I told him it wasn't just that. It was the fact that I asked him repeatedly to do something extremely reasonable, and he chose not to, over and over. He folded his arms and said, I'm not changing who I am just to make you comfortable. I said, I'm not asking you to change your personality. I'm asking you not to smell like shit. God damn. That's when it got dramatic. He stood up, threw his keys on the couch and said, "You're just like everybody else, judgmental and shallow." Then he packed a duffel bag like he was storming out of a movie, grabbing random stuff like a pair of mismatched socks, 2 deodorants, the irony, in a frozen burrito from the freezer. Before he left, he looked at me and said, "You'll regret this. You'll never find another guy like me, hopefully." And I just said, that's kind of the point. God damn. He slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. He texted me a few times since, mostly passive aggressive stuff like, "Hope your next guy wipes and lies to you about it." What? Hope your next guy wipes and lies to you about it? What?
I'm guessing he meant doesn't wipe and lies to you about it.
And real men don't fold for toilet paper. I haven't responded. Since he left, I've deep cleaned the apartment, burned a candle, and done 5 loads of laundry. I cannot tell you how amazing it feels to sit on a couch and not worry if it's been in contact with poop. Anyway, thank you for all for the push I needed. You're right. I don't need to fix someone who thinks basic hygiene is optional. I need somebody who's already a damn adult. We have some final comments to wrap this all up, y'all. Girl, you dodged a bullet. Not gonna lie. Nothing says I love you like basic hygiene. If he thinks finding a clean partner is impossible, he should probably check his own reflection first. Enjoy your sanitized couch. Yo, P responded to that saying, "Oh my God, yes, thank you." That part about the reflection, dead on. He kept acting like I was the problem for not accepting him as he is. But like, as he is, smells like a locker room floor. I'm genuinely so happy to sit on my couch and not wondering if there's ghost poop haunting the cushions. Sanitized and single has never felt so sanitized and single, girl. Why is he insisting being a man covered in poop is considered a personality trait that people need to accept? I have poo on myself on purpose, and it's unfair people don't accept me as I am. OP, why did you date him? He must have reeked from the beginning. OP responds, right. No, laughing my ass off, right? At some point, he really started acting like wiping his ass was a core identity issue. Like I was asking him to change something deep and sacred about himself. No, dude, you're not oppressed. You're just dirty. And yeah, I honestly don't know what I was thinking in the beginning. I guess the smell was kind of masked by cologne and short visits, and I wasn't paying close attention enough. Once we moved in together, though, oh, it hit me like a truck full of spoiled meat. I just didn't expect the problem to be this. That again, you'll have the option to read through all of that in your show notes. That's the 2 you're getting this week because the other one is just that was a pretty beefy one right there. So that kind of counts as 3 right there. Criminy. Good Lord. Box, what again? This I asked this question earlier. What is going on right now? What is happening in this world?
That man was just trying to conserve resources. Toilet paper is going to be scarce. He's doing his part for humanity. See, that's what is women, man. They just can't accept you for who you are. When you try to do good for the world, they just turn on you.
Man, he probably could maybe be able to pull it off had he tried to argue that bullshit. Like, this is for the environment. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to waste paper. But then, almost immediately, I'd be like, well, okay, if that's the case, just get a rag, some hot water, and wipe your ass. But what about the water?
I was just gonna say, like, I was about to bring up, like, does he not shower? Like if you don't wipe your ass when you poop, but that's like one thing. But then you just go in the shower and you just don't even run water down your ass crack.
But like I said, what's been coming up for like years now has been finding out folk don't wash their legs. You know what I'm saying? They think water running down their body is doing more work than it's doing. So,
hey man, the soap runs down. Like it doesn't. Gravity, baby.
That's exactly what my man probably thinks. There's water running down there. That'll work. That was this week's Emma the Assholes. I hope you enjoyed them. They really tried to take your man straight out. That's a wild boy right there. Boxman, what have you been watching, reading, listening to, playing, whatever you care to share with the listeners and the viewers?
I don't remember where I left off on this because it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The last time we talked about this. So I'm just going to say what I remember.
Okay.
I watched Ironheart. I watched Allard, which is like the spinoff of Bosch that just debuted on Amazon Prime a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I finished that because they put out the whole thing in one shot. So I finished that. I don't remember if I had finished Only Murders in the Building last time we talked.
You had started.
I finished that.
Okay.
Okay, well, Only Murders in the Building is done, but I just saw that the new season's dropping September 9th.
Oh, there you go.
So, about 5-6 weeks away. I started watching the show on there on Amazon. I guess it was a sci-fi show 15 years ago called Haven. It's kind of like a bad X-Files. So I'm like 4.5 episodes in on that. I watched this week's episode of Countdown this morning with the other Amazon show where it's like a 10 episode, kind of like a condensed 24 of sorts from back in the day. I've seen Jurassic Park in theaters. I saw Superman in theaters. I think that's everything that I can remember. Other than that, I've watched some people play Call of Duty, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on Magic the Gathering and Gold and Silver.
Okay, very good. I too watched Superman. What were your thoughts about Superman?
As a man who does not really give a shit about Superman, I found the movie enjoyable.
Same. I am not a real Superman kind of fan. Oddly enough, I do fuck with Clark Kent. I know that seems weird, you know what I'm saying? But it's just how this works. But it's so much better than Zack Snyder's version of Superman, and I love Henry Cavill. But the way he was written and presented in the Snyder version of the DC EU, it didn't fit the Superman that I know and love. This Superman is he's charming as shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hell yeah, Superman, I see you. Him and his Lois Lane have a chemistry that Henry Cavill and Amy Adams simply didn't. They just didn't. They didn't work together at all, in my opinion. But these two that's a vibe. I feel like this Lois and Supes are super sexy and got a thing going. I like the various Daily Planet bunch of weirdos. It's a good time to be had there. That Lex Luthor is a perfect Luthor. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, real fucking asshole, but but a real smart guy, so he knows what he's doing. So I very much enjoyed that. Love Isabella Merced as Hawk Girl. Love my man playing Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Mr. Terrific actually is a guy. Something else I've been watching has been and I'm almost caught up. I have one episode left, and that is For All Mankind. Mr. Terrific is a character in For All Mankind, and so I was like, holy shit, that's my man. I know this dude, and so that's fun to see him in this movie and that actor, in that role. And I really like that character in general. He's very cool, good vibes from that guy. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I am not the type who was like, I'm gonna go see that again, but I also would not go see it again because, of course, I go to the cheap theater, and so ain't nothing to it. Final Fantasy, Lord knows. Fantastic Four comes out this weekend. I think I might, if I can get seats, I might try to slide through and see that this weekend as well. We'll see. I am playing Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Nintendo Switch 2. What made me get that game was the morning reviews came out. IGN gave that a 10, and then a bunch of other people came through and gave it 10s as well. And I was like, oh. And then I watched Kind of Funny. I just sent that video I told you about earlier. I sent Box the Magic Gathering video from Kind of Funny, and Tim Geddes sat there and said, "Bro, I played all the 3D Mario games, and that this team is making. It's the same guy who's make Mario made this game, and I would tell you to play this over all of them." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So we talking like that? Is that kind of good?" So that is when decided I wanted that game. So that's what's cracking with that. It really is great. They're not wrong. These reviewers have been spot on. I very much am enjoying this game. And sometimes my brain is like, crush everything and clean up the whole area. And I cannot play the game like that, because if I play the game like that, I'm never going to make any progress forward. I'm just be sitting in the same area, breaking all the damn rocks and digging up all the gold and bananas that are in that area and fossils and shit. And then I'm not going to make any progress in the game. And the point of the game is to, get some more of the story and figure out what's going on there. A couple of records have shown up this past week. I thought I'd share those with you. For the first time on Vital, one Frank Ocean released Channel Orange, and I'm very excited to have this. And it sounds amazing on 128 gram black vinyl, and it's good stuff. A real nice gatefold sleeve, so a very, very lovely record. Sounds fantastic. I was very happy to own this, and so now Frank's big releases are mine. I have Blonde over there on the shelf already, and now I have Channel Orange. And then when did Chalfie send me this? I think it might have been like Friday. Let's see. Scroll through here. Saturday, 2:37 a.m. I wake up on the couch and I'm blurry eyed. I'm seeing somebody has messaged me, and it's Chalfie telling me Tyler the Creator has announced, don't tap the glass. This is crazy. Chalfie like, you got to buy it, because, of course, Tyler records are, oddly enough, they sell out kind of quick, and they actually increase in value. Chromacopia, his last record, he called, same like this, he calls it a test pressing, but like it can't be a test pressing if there's like hundreds of thousands of them or whatever. But this did sell right out. So as you can see, that's a clear vinyl record, and that picture is on the sleeve. If you've watched my TikToks, I've talked about PVC sleeves being bad for records, but what they did for this record is give it an inner sleeve. There's actually see that. That's actually a little inner liner for this record. So the record sits in the liner, and the PVC kind of therefore is not touching the vinyl. But then somebody on the hip hop vinyl Reddit was like, it's still a problem because the gas will get through the blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you something. I'm not saying that off-gassing is not an issue with PVC and vinyl, because it is. But what I am saying is the consequences which that happens are very specific, and you shouldn't be storing your records in hot situations anyway where that could happen. Keep your records cool and dry and safe, and you don't have to worry about off-gassing from PVC sleeves so fucking much. But both those sound amazing. What also finally released was, and where you got lyrics from earlier in the show, is Clips Let God Sort Them Out. It is probably the finest hip-hop album I've heard all year. Hopefully it is up for album of the year when that time comes around. It's really amazing. That particular song I spit to you right there is called FICO. And what's dope about that one is uses this inside-out rhyme scheme that is just fascinating to listen to, fascinating for me to actually speak to you earlier. And I would highly recommend you check it out. Stove God Cooks on the Hook. And that's an amazing album, and I highly recommend you check out Let God Sort Them Out. It's really, really, really good. No books right now, no podcasts that are out of the normal, and I told you what I was playing, so that's the business housekeeping. As we go ahead and slide on out of this, please tune in every Thursdays. That's when we post shows, but it's also when we record, usually around 8:30 EST. You can typically join us in the chat on YouTube and or Twitch if you're so inclined. Do me a solid. Comment. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this on YouTube, comment. And if possible, you know what I'm saying? Hit with that thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? We're trying, like I said, I'm not trying to blow up. I'm not trying to become, SKiM is huge. But I am trying to, get the business, the brand out there, let people know we out here doing the damn thing. I want to share what we do, because I think what we do is good. And I think it's worthy of people listening and checking us out. Make sure to comment. Oh, again, I wrote it down. I have it written down there. Make sure you comment on YouTube. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the show financially, few bucks or toss away. Consider joining us over on Patreon with members at the $5 tier. Get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We also have merch over at tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchy milk, all one word. Crunch, of course, being spelled okay. And feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you and hear from you actually have. It's just over there on the Spotify comments, and it's the homeboy. What is your name? That has just slipped out of my brain as I need to pull it up. I'm just pulling it up now so I can. Clearly, I've not logged into Spotify on this browser in a while. I try to do all the show business in a different browser than what I'm using for it's currently comments. Soul Power. Thank you, Soul Power. Soul Power comes through and then just puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fire emojis for the last episode of episode 5. So now we're reunited. So thank you for that. And thanks for listening and sharing. Oh, shit. Man, the Iron Sheik. I just quickly want to... Let's take a quick look at his legacy. Hossein Khosrow Ali Azri, better known by the ring name the Iron Sheik, was an Iranian and American professional and amateur wrestler. Meaning, of course, they went with the Sheik moniker because he was of Middle Eastern descent. But I think it's super, super, super dope that unlike a lot of Razor Ramon, as it turns out, not Latin at all. And so a lot of wrestlers were just a bit, and sometimes painted a different shade of a color. And
there was a guy in like 2007, 2008 or something like that. Yeah. He was in WWE. His name was Muhammad Hassan. Dude's French Canadian. And I'm not talking like Middle Eastern French Canadian, like straight up like French Canadian. Yeah, he's not Middle Eastern at all. Yeah. And they had him portraying a terrorist Middle Eastern guy. Yeah. So, that's why we show a little more love besides the fact that he hated Hogan, just like, we all do. Yokozuna wasn't Japanese. He was Samoan.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit like that was going down in WWE and pro wrestling, as it were. And it's kind of wild, I'll tell you that, is what I'm going to say.
Big boss man, not actually a cop.
Sergeant Slaughter was in the military, oddly enough. He actually was at one point. So I just don't believe his last name was Slaughter. So wild time. That man went from wrestling to G.I. Joe. That's crazy. And just kept the moniker. Sergeant Slaughter in the ring. I'm Sergeant Slaughter over here when I'm fighting with the Joes. And did the VO for it on the cartoon. Crazy shit, y'all. Our missing man is the 216 Tater 216. We'll be here when he's here. And that's just what it is, folks. That is the Right Reverend Lunchbox 2099.
Praise be.
Praise him. Not him per se, but you praise whatever you want to praise. Him, her, them, they. Worry not. Your praise is your praise to be had and enjoyed.
We'll be passing the collection plate around in a few minutes.
We would really like to have the money that folds and not that jingles. Unless, of course, you're handing out precious metals. And we'll take that with no issue or anything like that there. I am the Understander 713. Don't make me push into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.
Stays crunchy and milk.